Happy Friday, artists. It's Friday again. This week went really fast for me. I don't know about you guys, but it went really fast for me. So today we're going to do another perspective drawing. So if you didn't get a chance to see last week's perspective video, you may want to check it out, but I think I reviewed pretty much everything that we did in that video. I think I tried to give you a quick touch point on most of what we did last week. And this is a repeat of a lot of techniques. It's just sort of a different way to turn it. So if you didn't like your drawing from last week, this gives you another opportunity to redo it. If you liked your drawing from last week, maybe add something like colored pencils, different colors, you know, whatever you want to do. You guys are so creative. You're more creative than I am. So we're going to represent our objective for today. Okay, our objective for today, what we're going to accomplish is to create three-dimensional objects that recede all the way into space into our perspective point. Okay, you ready? They look like this. Now, I just used, there's sort of a glare on my screen, so maybe I can adjust that. So I just used for mine, I'll kind of give you a close-up view of this. I just used a graphite pencil, and I used a really dark graphite pencil, and you can use color. You can use color or any number of other things that will make yours a lot more exciting. Like I said, you're very creative, so feel free to add color to this, put a background in it, whatever you want to do. I'm sure you guys are going to figure out a lot of really creative things. I do want to show you, so we do have darker colored pencils here. We have these, remember the contour lines? So these are all of the things that we've been using in some of our different projects. These contour lines really give the shape of what we're doing. And it's a good practice, really, to try to draw parallel lines or lines that copy a shape. And what I mean by that is, like, for instance, if you have you know, if you have a shape, I'm going to do this. You know, if you have a shape like this, a contour this way, I'm really doing this backward to copy that shape by just trying to see how alike you can make it, or how you can try to keep the distance between the two lines the same. And if you keep doing that in space, you're using that like a contour line. And so we do this practice in this drawing a little bit. You know, this one, it gets narrower when it goes to that subject. So that use of contour lines, remember we did that contour line bookmark. So those of you who did that project will know what a contour line can really accomplish, shaping a piece of, you know, a three-dimensional object. So, okay, for this project, same materials as last time. You're going to want your pencil sharpener and your pencil. Okay, I have a pretty dark pencil. This is darker than a regular graphite pencil. It's a little messier too, but I have my pencil sharpener, my pencil, and then I created a straight edge, which if you didn't see last week's video, I redo it here. And then I need an eraser, but I don't really need a big eraser. I just am using the edge of a pencil. So this is art. We anticipate mistakes, we respect the creative process, and we try until we are satisfied. So let's get started.
Okay, so to draw the picture, to just begin, all we don't need this time, we don't have to even start with a horizon line. So we don't need one of those, but we are going to need a ruler. So, or I mean, like I said before, a straight edge. So again, we take our paper, right? My paper is in landscape position right here. And I'm just going to take one of my sheets, unless you have yours from last time, which I do. However, I'm going to demonstrate it again. We're going to fold hot dog style, nice corner to corner. Hold those corners in place and give a nice fold at the bottom. Fold it again with that edge up to that side. Make sure you square it away and then push out. And then here you have a really nice, I don't use this edge here because it's, got the funny ends, but here on the other side is my nice single straight edge. And that is what I use. And I'm just going to quickly demonstrate on a piece of scratch paper the way we draw our lines, because I had a couple of people ask about that. So I had a couple of my own 6th graders give me a question about this. So let's say this is my perspective point and I'm starting here at a corner. The way that I do this is I start either at this point or that. It doesn't matter which one I'm going to. And I set my pencil down first. Okay, I set my pencil down first. I hold my pencil nice and tight right now because that gives me, my paper can move. Look at my paper can move freely, not too freely. And then also my straight edge can rotate around my pencil because I'm holding everything nice and tight. So now I get there and I kind of just arrange everything exactly where I want it, and I give myself a little space to draw a pencil line. And now I hold my straight edge tightly. Now after I hold my straight edge tightly, I can actually lift this pencil up. And sometimes that's nice to do because then you can rearrange your hand on that pencil so it's light. So now my holding hand is the hard hand, and this hand is just drawing really lightly. Okay? So you change from holding strong on this hand and holding light on this hand to try and get the edge matched up with a dot. And then once I have it there in place, I hold this really strong. And now I loosen up on my drawing hand. So I could do that again. I'll show you. I'm going to draw maybe a dot from here to there, to this center perspective point. And so I put my pencil down. Let's try it down here. I can start from this side too. It's all the same to me. None of it matters. So then I put my ruler goes right up against my pencil. And then on the other side, you can watch it right down here. I just gently move that until I have it right where I want it. And I leave enough room to draw right into that point. Okay, so I make sure that both edges are set. Now I hold this down nice and tight. Okay, this is my tight hand. And this one can leave off, and I just gently now come back in. I can even hold it way up here so I know that the line will be nice and light. Look at that. Okay, and I went a little bit over. Not a big deal, right? I have my eraser, or I have a pencil with an eraser that I can use, so I'm just fine. And I'll do one more line just to demonstrate. Set my pencil down and then arrange my straight edge, hold tightly to the straight edge, and just gently draw that line. And there you go. All of these lines are nice and straight. You also have to make sure when you're drawing your straight edge line and you're holding it nice and tight, that you don't accidentally do one of these and stick your finger in there. I can't tell you how many times I've done that or had some other object in the way. And if you don't hold it tight, what could happen is you could be drawing and accidentally push your ruler to your straight edge. So these are a couple of the pitfalls. I just wanted to do this because a couple people had actually asked questions about this from our last project. So we're going to do something similar. We're going to draw some shapes in space, but these shapes in space are going to be going all the way back to a central location, and that will be our perspective point. Now, I'm not going to color mine in. I'm going to shade it just with graphite pencil, but you can at any point, as soon as I'm done drawing the actual shapes, that would be a great time for you guys to get out your colored pencils. You are really adept at them at this point, and you're great at using these. So, okay, I'm going to try and get really close to the middle, just to humor myself. And then right here, all the way around, I'm going to choose a selection of shapes, pretty simple shapes, but I'm going to even try some that are a little more complicated. Okay, so a heart maybe, I'll do a square here. That is not very square, but that's all right. So remember how we adjust this. It's close enough. These are kind of right angles, right? Okay, and then maybe a triangle. I don't know, close to an equilateral triangle, but probably not perfect, right? Maybe a circle. Circles are tough to draw. Ooh, see that lopsided one? And I'm pretty good at drawing circles, just because I've practiced it a lot. It used to be a fun thing of mine to do, is to just sit and practice circles. I used to draw whole pages of circles. So I am definitely better than some people at drawing circles, but I had a teacher in college who could just draw a perfect circle every time he tried. Now, that's not usual. If you want to actually pick up something, this is a little too big probably, but if you want to pick up something and trace that, go right ahead. That's not much of a concern for me. I'm also not interested in it needing to be perfect. That's totally great enough. Let's see. I don't know why I'm running out of ideas. Maybe a nice rectangle kind of across from the square. Ooh, I have a really complicated one in my mind. So I'm going to draw this one. First I was thinking I would do a star, but then I thought actually this one would be more fun. I could be wrong. Okay, so I'm just trying to get it as close as possible to even. A little plus sign. Not that a star isn't great, but the plus sign just seemed a little bit fun for me. Sorry, I was a little bit out of the camera there. Okay, so now here's the interesting part. So for something like a circle, it's a little tricky because we don't know where to draw. For something that has corners, we remember, at least I hope you remember from last time, we start just with the corners that we have. So we try to see how many corners can we draw to the center point without going through the shape itself. I think we're going to just have this because this one's going to go here and this one goes here, and both of those will go through the shape, so we're not going to do those. So this one's kind of easy. Now, it gets a little trickier with a circle. So with a circle, we're going to go to the farthest edge. This point that goes right at the edge where it's just one point touches a line, one point on the circle touches the line, is called a tangent, just so you know. So I'm going to create a tangent by putting my pencil here on the center point, perspective point, and then just going right up to the edge of my circle, and I'm going to lightly draw the line right to the edge of the circle. And I could draw it all the way out, but I don't want to. That's a tangent point, obviously. So this is my tangent point, and I love that word, and I love the way tangent means that it goes right to the edge of that circle. That's always really exciting to me. Okay, and then here, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to just go right to the edge of the circle. Okay, so here I am. Okay, and so the circle was not that hard. This rectangle, because it's right in line with the horizon line, actually goes through it. So none of these other sides, the same thing is going to happen with this square. I'll show you. None of the other angles, we can't draw lines through this because it would cut through the shape. And this is a solid shape. So So I'm just going to draw my line from here to the center point and from here to the center point. Now already you can start to see that these shapes are like going down in space. So now we'll do our triangle. Again, also this point won't be drawn, so we just have to draw 2 points on this one too. Now the heart gets a little bit trickier, but it's actually, I think, more tricky. I think that the heart is actually more tricky than this shape right here. But I'm going to show you. So what we do is you go to the farthest edge, and this is a rounded edge. And so this is like a tangent. It's like the edge of a circle. I'm going to go right here. So this is like the edge of a circle. I'm going to go to the closest edge. So I'm going to set myself up on the center point and then just rotate my straight edge until I run right at that extra edge, the edge of the edge. And I'm going to do the same thing. Whoops, that was a slip. And I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to set myself up at the center point and then go just to the first point where my straight edge meets this shape. Okay, the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line from the center point here, the center of my heart, all the way in. Okay? And now, so this one had 3. This is so far the only one that's had 3. Now this one is going to be super tricky. On every corner that I can do it, I'm going to draw a line toward the center. So this one's going to be tricky. So here, this is an obvious corner. This definitely feels like an obvious corner, right? Because they're the outside corners of the shape. But here is another corner. It's just an inside corner. And this corner is also going to get drawn into the center. Okay, this corner does not go through the shape, so we're going to also draw one right here. This corner should not go through the shape at all, so we're going to, same thing, draw it here. Now we're going to run out eventually this one. Now here's where it gets a little tricky. This one, we're only going to draw to here because, again, this shape is completely solid. Okay, that doesn't matter because I'm still going to line it up like this. And then I'm going to just draw to this line right here. So I'm going to go like this. Very little amount of drawing because now it goes behind this original shape. Now here on this side, I think I only have 1, and this one also is going to go right to the shape, to this edge, and stop. So it's going to go here, and that'll be it. Now, just like we did before, remember how we, in order to end the shape, we had to draw parallel lines to this? What we're going to do is we're going to draw a series of parallel lines that match this side, okay? And we're going to do that all the way down. And mine kind of get closer as they go down. For this shape, we're going to do our contour lines. I'm going to keep it at the same distance all the way around-ish. Not quite perfect, but I'm going to try to follow this curve. So, and then I'll follow it this way. I'll just keep following it as we go down. And then as I keep going, that's not perfect, but that's okay. And now here, same thing. I'm going to match the side that I started from, and I'm just going to keep drawing parallel lines through this one. Parallel, parallel, parallel. And that's perfect. All the way in. Here, I have to take each side at a time. Okay, so this side extends from here, from this edge. So I'm going to draw parallel lines here. Okay, and this is not so hard. But what gets tricky is connecting all of these lines. So now I'm going to go to this corner and draw them all down from those corners to match this side right here. And I'm trying to match all those corners so that they feel like those lines go through. Again, now here I'm on this side, and this comes from this main edge, and so I'm going to draw right here parallel lines going out to match this. And this is so, now wait till you see just a second when I back off. And then again here, the lines coming, I match them up to the corners. And when I do this, you can see that this shape follows, this is a contour line. And then I just kind of guess a line here, maybe like kind of imagine that going through. Okay, we have 2 more to go. This one's an easy one. We just start with lines that match the edge of this one and get kind of a little bit closer together as we go down. And then last but not least, we're just gonna, like we did with the circle, we're just gonna follow this contour. And these don't necessarily touch because they kind of, you can see this isn't perfect, but okay. And now, and I look at how fast and messy this is. I want to just show you, and I know that I can get away with it. That's why I did it. I just went fast and messy, but you can't really tell when you just look at this whole drawing. So now here, this is a perfect time to get your colored pencils out, because the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to color this edge of the shape the darkest. So it's being lit from behind, and I'm going to come in here, and each one of these shapes is going to get a really nice dark color. What you could do is, this is the point where you could get out your colored pencils and you color this shape really dark, but you color all of the side of this much, much lighter. So you just take that side, and I'm just going to demonstrate. Here's how dark I'm coloring this shape. Really dark, right? It's dark. But here, I'm going to color this much lighter. So this is where your sharp tip, really smooth, nice coloring could come in. And when you're using a colored pencil, you'll be able to go even lighter. So now I have a shape that's sort of shaded in here, and it's really dark on the edge. So each one of these, the side that faces me is going to be the darkest one. And I'm going to color it in this way, and then color this much lighter. So I can speed this up for you because this part is will take a little bit. So here you go. This is the final drawing. Everything goes toward the center. I think if you used colored pencils on this, it might be really fun to use colored pencils on the outside of this and do some kind of a drawing or some kind of a coloring. It might be fun to just do really light in the center, and then, maybe put a border around this, like around your edges. You could put a border, would be really neat. And then color dark out here, and maybe lighten it up to just darken the corners, or maybe even pencil shavings that you could you know, rub in the edges, but then leave it light in the center. I think that would be a really great way to do it. But, you know, I'll let you do this. You guys are getting so good at this. The drawings that I'm getting from you are so fabulous. They are so incredible that I just am loving. I'm loving everything I see from you guys. So even just doing the corners, look at how, you know, I'm really quick with this corner, but because this nice inside part was done really carefully and quickly, or carefully and slowly, this outside part right here can go much faster, and it's just meant to sort of give sort of an indication of an edge, you know, or a frame to this piece, which is really a finishing gesture. So here you go. Here is our shape picture, and I hope I see some copies of yours.
All right, so here we go. We did it. We did it. Nice background, you know, whatever you guys add to this, I'm sure it's going to be even better than what I've done. You guys have been blowing me away with your art. So I hope to see more of it. Again, if you want to send me something, I will. I love to put it to make slideshows, and maybe I'll come up with a slideshow to share for you guys. So send it to my email address, and have a great weekend. All right, I'll see you next week. Take care. Bye.